start whenever you want. Click out the first. Just hurry up.
Okay. So my name is Professor Wheeler Dripson, and I'm going to be talking about the Cold War and the events around that time, and then the politics of the U.S. through the 1950s. So coming out of World War II, the world has now seen what humanity and humankind is capable of. Instead of like wars in the past where you just have pawns moving around, now you're dealing with kings and queens on the board, and it's a whole different ballgame. I mean, you're not in the minor league anymore. After Hiroshima and those big bombings, then it's a whole different ballgame. And so the Western leaders had to worry about the USSR and what they call their expansive tendencies. Moreover, they believed that the spread of communism anywhere in the world threatened democracy and capitalism. So, and as a result, communism needed to be contained. And they believed it needed to be contained by diplomacy, and they were even willing to go with threats and by force to maintain the overall world diplomacy through the world. So you have a lot of communism coming up, and you have the Western countries really threatening that, and even by force to stop communism from rising. And what people didn't know was actually that the Cold War started earlier than the 60s with our whole deal with Russia in the 60s. And if it wasn't for the restraints of the American government and the United Nations on communism and on nuclear power, then we would have had World War III actually in the 50s, and it would have been mass world destruction. I mean, it would have been Hiroshima times 20.